This thing was released in 2015, but is it worth it in 2020? Let's find out. Before I get into the video, make sure to subscribe if you're into tech and programming, because that's the type of content that I make. So to start off, the original Apple Watch is more than good enough to show the time. As you can see, it shows the time quite easily. And let's just go into all the apps here. So the original Apple Watch is also really great for messaging. If I go into the message app right here, you can see I have all my messages, and if you actually want to message someone, it's quite easy. All you have to do is you could use dictation, or you could use Scribble by scribbling what you want to message. So it's quite amazing, and it works like pretty well on the original Apple Watch. So you can also call on this thing in the calling app, well, in the phone app, and you can see here, let's go to keypad. You could type in the number and you could call people, so it's pretty easy, and you can see that it's like working decently fast here. And something else that's really useful is you could use Siri on this Apple Watch. So if you just hold this button, and I believe you could also say "Hey Siri," except I'm not too sure about that, but if I hold this button, it'll activate Siri. Tell me a joke. So you can see Siri's not super fast, but she's still relatively fast, and I believe Siri doesn't speak on the Apple Watch, unfortunately, but she does write messages, and so you could get information with it, and so it's really useful to have Siri on the Apple Watch. The watch also has a heart rate sensor, and if I flip it over here, you can see, yep, it's activating. So that's the heart rate sensor. So yeah, it works quite well. It's pretty good. It's really also great for tracking fitness as well, because you can measure your heart rate here, and you can, you could track fitness with it and do a bunch of stuff. There's also there's a workout app for this. So you can see here, you can set like goals and stuff, so that's pretty great. And there's also the activity app. So it shows you how much activity you got for the day in terms of moving, exercise, and standing. So that's really great to track your activity along with your fitness. What's also really great about this is that you can install third-party apps, just like all the newer Apple Watches. So you can see here I have some apps. I even installed like Pong, which is pretty cool that you could play a game on this thing. So let's just test it out here. So yeah, you can see here, it actually works like pretty well. And I believe like I can set the difficulty. Not really sure how. Do I have to press here? Yeah, I think I could. So that's pretty cool that you can actually like play a real game on this. And you could also do other things, like there's also a calculator, and so it's really amazing that you can install third-party apps. And you can also go to your reminders, you can look at stocks, you can look at the weather, you can do so many things with this, so it's really amazing. Now, one thing you might have noticed is that it is actually quite slow. So it's not horrible, but like when like launching an app, it may like stutter a bit, also using Siri, but it's not horrible. It's actually like pretty good. So it's not something that I would complain about too much, but if you're picky, then you may not like it. Also, in terms of the battery of the Apple Watch, it usually lasts a full day if you don't use it too often. Sometimes not as much, but about like let's say about 10 hours. So like kind of just the day, not the night as well. That it doesn't last that long. But you could also charge it with the wireless charging pad. And when I have used this thing, I can use it the whole day go home and charge it, and it works for me. Now, unfortunately, this Apple Watch is not supported by Apple anymore, so you can't update to the latest software, but what you have right now is pretty good. You get all the main Apple Watch features, so it's still really great, but you just can't get all those latest and greatest features. Now for the big question, is the original Apple Watch worth it in 2020, and should you buy it? I would say yes and no. Even though it's slightly slow, it's still usable and has the main Apple Watch features, despite it not being supported by Apple anymore. It also has a decent battery life, enough to get you through the day if you don't use it like every 5 minutes. So, if you have an original Apple Watch lying around, it's definitely still usable. That being said, I wouldn't go out of your way to try and find it online and buy it, because you're probably better off getting a slightly newer Apple Watch that's faster and still supported if you could afford to spend the extra few $100. So that was pretty much it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and also let me know down below in the comments if you would use the Apple Watch in this day and age. See you guys in the next video.